Hello, VIDAFY family in Australia and New Zealand. I am excited to be here with you today. My name is Dr. Jeremy Thornton. Those of you that may not know me, just a little bit about me as that I'm an internist, a chiropractic physician, and a clinical nutritionist. I have been in practice now for a little over 26 years and working in the functional medicine space. So the curcumin and turmeric conversation has been something that I have followed and studied for a very, very long time, and literally have tried dozens of different versions over the years myself, as well as with patients. And so that provides me with a little bit of a unique insight to share. What I've been asked to share today is information not only on our amazing BioMS technology, right, which is why we're all here today, but also we need to at least cover briefly the main star of the show as far as ingredients is curcumin, right? And so we're going to talk about why curcumin itself is special, and then we will cover the amazing BioMS technology that we're all excited about. So I'm going to share my screen with you here today. So first, it's important for us to cover that the following information is not intended to replace a professional medical recommendation. It is only for informational and educational purposes based on preventive medicine. If you have any of the following symptoms, you should consult a licensed health professional for the diagnosis and treatment of any medical condition. It all begins with turmeric root. So what most people don't realize is that turmeric root actually comes from a very beautiful plant over here called Curcuma longa plant, right? And of course, the turmeric is the root of that plant. And we've, known that it's been used medicinally for thousands of years. It was one of the foundational herbs in the oldest forms of medicine that we know about, of course, is Ayurvedic and traditional Chinese medicine. But beyond turmeric, as we've studied and learned more about this amazing medicinal plant, often called the most powerful medicinal plant known to man, and after we visit today, I'm sure you'll agree, the star of the show is called curcumin, which is only about 2 to 6% of turmeric. It's got a lot of other things in it, but the main bioactive component of turmeric root is called curcumin. One thing that I want you to remember about curcumin is that it is lipophilic, meaning it loves fat, it dissolves in fat, and it is hydrophobic, meaning it loves or it hates water, it's afraid of water, and it doesn't mix well in water, and nor dissolve in water. And of course, this can be an issue, right? When our body and our bloodstream is mostly made of what? Mostly made of water, right? And so if you were to look at, and I encourage you to do this, go to pubmed.gov and just type in curcumin. You will see there are currently over 23,000 results, medical studies and journal articles, and all focused on the benefits of curcumin. And so it's also the most widely studied, the most widely researched by far of any natural supplement, any herbal supplement that there is. And I often say that if the science is this excited about an herb, it must be pretty special, right? And so if we dig into curcumin effects that are well published, well documented, these things are not argued about. These things aren't opinion. We have plenty of solid scientific evidence showing that curcumin has all of these benefits. It's probably most known for its anti-inflammatory activity, right? But that's really just the tip of the iceberg. It has antioxidant benefits. It has anti-cancer benefits. It has neuroprotective benefits. And this is a wide area. We're talking about things from neuroinflammation and brain inflammation all the way to neurodegenerative conditions like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's disease, to mental health, ADHD, anxiety, depression. We could go on and on, but tremendous for the brain and the nervous system. Hepatoprotection, meaning liver, a lot of benefits to the liver and kidneys as well. Cardiovascular protection, it protects the heart, it reduces inflammation in the blood vessels and treats things like vascular inflammation and vascular disease and arteriosclerosis and these different types of things. Anti-diabetic effects, we know that it improves blood sugar. We know that it increases insulin sensitivity of our cells. Immune regulation, plenty of immune system benefits, both encouraging a healthy immune system as well as calming an overactive immune system. And if I could have made this graphic myself, which I didn't, this was out of this publication in Nutrients in 2018. But if I could have made this graphic myself, I would have put another arrow out here and talked about gastrointestinal benefits and all the many benefits for leaky gut, inflammatory bowel diseases, diverticulitis, all the different bowel issues and gut issues have seen major improvements with curcumin. And so we could go on and on about the science. I won't bore everybody to death here today, but we do know that there's lots and lots of research, and I encourage you again to go to pubmed.gov and just take a look yourself. Mechanisms of curcumin in Alzheimer's disease, in autoimmune diseases, in rheumatoid arthritis, the golden spice in treating cardiovascular disease, atherogenic activities, atherosclerosis. Let's see here, gut barrier function, leaky gut. This was in diabetic patients with peripheral neuropathy and depression and anxiety. And of course, curcumin in cancer. Again, tons and tons of research. One of the most studied parts of curcumin is its ability to inhibit so many different inflammatory pathways. And so I'm sure that a lot of these letters up here don't mean a lot to you, but let me tell you that this is powerful, that one substance can intervene and inhibit this many inflammatory pathways by itself. And these different inflammatory pathways are involved in a lot of different chronic diseases, from cardiovascular disease and neurodegenerative diseases and cancers and autoimmune conditions and all kinds of inflammatory chronic conditions. These are the different inflammatory pathways that are involved, and that is super powerful. And again, the research goes on, and I won't bore you with naming all of the different health conditions and diseases, but you can just look at the topics: liver diseases and lung diseases and skin diseases and neurodegenerative diseases, other inflammatory diseases, infectious diseases, endocrine disorders, heart disease, skeletal disease, and of course, cancers. And we talk about all of these benefits, right? And these things that are well studied, well known. It makes you wonder, why aren't more people talking about curcumin and turmeric? What's the catch? And there's always seems to be a catch, right? And in this case, it has to do with the hidden secret about curcumin and turmeric is that it is poorly bioavailable. Remember, one of the things we talked about just a second ago was that it was hydrophobic, right? And so if you ingest curcumin, how much of that do you believe will ever be absorbed at the intestinal level? You will be shocked to find out that that is less than 10%, and some would argue is much closer to 1%. Again, if you look at the articles at all in PubMed, this is a topic that's talked about over and over and over, and it really goes like something like this. Curcumin has been shown to benefit this and this and this. It has this amazing activity on this disease process, but it is very poorly bioavailable, and we have a lot of difficulty getting this into the bloodstream, right? And so article after article talks about how curcumin has been confirmed to exhibit very poor bioavailability, with many studies showing very low or even undetectable concentrations in the blood, in the extraintestinal tissues. Major reasons are due to its poor absorption, its rapid metabolism, its chemical instability, and its rapid systemic elimination. In fact, it's been so bad, that there has been scientists that have studied curcumin for decades and continued to come across this problem, right? It did these amazing things in the lab, in the test tube, in the cell cultures, right? But then when they crossed over to try to do human studies, not only were they not seeing the same benefit, they often couldn't even find it in the bloodstream, right? And here in the yellow, it talks about that. In fact, some researchers have argued that given its unstable, reactive, and non-bioavailable nature, further clinical trials on curcumin are unwarranted, right? And this is another scientist in a different publication, the Scientific American. He says, so what do we get when we look closely at the molecule and its activities? Well, for one thing, curcumin stability and pharmacokinetics are absolutely terrible. It's less than 1% bioavailable, and its half-life under physiological conditions is measured in minutes. Much effort, he goes on over here, as you can sense his frustration already. Much effort in funding has been wasted on curcumin research. And this has been, again, the struggle, the trial for decades with curcumin and turmeric. That is until now, right? And this is why we're so excited to be here and share this information with you as we continue to spread this message of hope across the globe, right? Is this bioMS technology. Okay, just to give you a little bit of information is that it is up to 277 times more bioavailable than traditional curcumin and turmeric. That is huge, right? The ability to get this into the bloodstream to our cells quickly at therapeutic levels has been something that has been up till now actually impossible to do. So this multi-patented product, this bioMS technology, is bioMS standing for biotechnology with micelle solubilisates. It's actually a German technology, right, that was designed at the University of Hohenheim in Germany. And really, it's all about taking this curcumin particle that, again, is hydrophobic, hates water, and trying to get this into the body, right? So first they apply a nanotechnology, shrinking this particle size to less than 30 nanometers. That is so tiny, but it's still a very hydrophobic particle. So then they apply a micelle technology, which wraps this micelle structure around the curcumin particle, which can now easily carry this curcumin particle through the intestinal lining into the bloodstream and then onto our cells, organs, tissues, and even brain. So that's so very exciting. To come close to these levels that we're seeing, you would have to consume either 8 kilograms, which is 17.6 pounds of turmeric root, or 25 plus capsules of curcumin multiple times a day. And who would like to sign up for that challenge, for that study, right? Anybody, any volunteers? I did not think so. Again, this is really a multi-technology. We first extract the curcumin, right, from the turmeric root. Reminder, there's only 2 to 6% of this that is curcumin. This is why we don't use the whole turmeric root, okay? Then we apply the nanotechnology, of course, shrinking that particle size to less than 30 nanometers. It is then wrapped in a micelle structure to be able to easily carry it like a little submarine to carry that special curcumin particle throughout the body. How small is a nanometer? Just to give you a visual, a red blood cell is 7,000 nanometers wide. A human hair is up to 100,000 nanometers thick. And I love the visual that Shane taught me, that if you took your fingernail and you were to make 1,000,000 slices through your fingernail, one of those 1,000,000 slices would be the size of a nanometer. And so that's the type of small particle sizes we're talking about in one of the parts of the magic behind this technology and being able to get it to the body at levels never seen before. And this gives you a visual, and probably very similar to a lot of the scientists that have studied that, many of the frustrated scientists that I just shared with you. And this is a study just regular curcumin, 2,000 milligrams, which is a pretty hefty dose. This is the concentration found in the bloodstream. This is the amount of the length of time that it was detectable in the bloodstream. And as you can see here, you might have to look very closely, might have to squint, might have to get your glasses out. But here at an hour is the peak of curcumin, right? That's about it. So you can sense the frustration, why we've struggled to get this in the body, why we've struggled to see the benefits that we knew that this had. And look where it's at by 2 hours. It is undetectable. All right. Well, we hear this a lot. Well, my curcumin or turmeric has added black pepper extract, which solves the bioavailability issue. How many have heard that? And not so fast, right? I wish it were that simple. But in this picture, although we do see a much more aggressive spike in curcumin here at about the 45-minute mark, the same 2,000 milligram dose sees a brief spike, but look where we're at by 1 hour, okay? And look where we're at by 3 hours, we are again undetectable. So we have a brief spike in blood levels of curcumin for about 30 minutes. And that does not look like solving the bioavailability issue to me. The other problem I have with this approach is that they're accomplishing this because black pepper extract actually slows down what they call phase 2 liver detoxification in the body, right? Well, how does this work if people are on multiple nutritional supplements and many are on multiple prescription medications? Is it a good idea to slow down the liver? And many are taking these types of supplements multiple times a day. Is this a great approach? In my opinion, it is not. The great news is that this technology outperforms this by leaps and bounds. I mean, it's not even close. This is what we're seeing with this amazing technology is levels in the bloodstream. Look up here that we've never ever seen before, not even close with an oral supplement. And not only that, but remember how it was gone within 2 hours. It was undetectable again. Look at the time frame. We have 4 hours, 8 hours, 16 hours, 20 hours, 24 hours left. There is still detectable levels of curcumin in the bloodstream. Guys, that just blows my mind because not only have we had so much trouble getting it in the body, getting it in the bloodstream at therapeutic levels, but we couldn't keep it there for any length of time. So my poor patients over the years that tried to utilize curcumin, I would have them taking curcumin capsules multiple times a day to try to achieve a therapeutic response, which was difficult to say the least. And now we are finally achieving this. You know, what I always say is that this is what I had always hoped curcumin could be, but I'd never seen it before. And now I'm so excited that we're finally seeing these things that we knew curcumin could do, and we're finally seeing it happen because we have solved, VIDAFY with the bioMS technology has solved the bioavailability issue with curcumin. Because after all, it's not about how much curcumin you take. We have people taking thousands and thousands of milligrams, but it's how much is absorbed, how long it stays in your bloodstream, in your organs, and in your tissues. That's what it's all about, right? And so I have to end with this visual. I love this right here because it demonstrates this hydrophobic nature of curcumin, right? It is scared of that water. It is not mixing in that water at all. And then we compare it to our bioMS technology, which easily distributes in this water, easily distributes through your intestinal lining, easily distributes to your bloodstream, to your organs, your tissues, your cells. And that's where the magic happens. And so I hope this has been valuable. I hope this has helped the understanding of this bioMS technology. I'm super excited to have been asked to share with you today. Congratulations on your launch, and I hope you have a great rest of the event.